Have you ever seen a makeup look that you thought, wow, I love those colors, but I don't know if those colors love me? Um, and maybe they're too dark because you have maybe you're over an over 50 or an over 60 girl. And I'm going to show you today some quick tips to make a look more friendly, more user friendly. So, for example, I'm going to start with the lipstick because I always like to start there. In this particular look that our makeup artists have developed, they have used two beautiful lip colors, and one is beige lip liner, which I'm going to show you here, and then the lipstick is Hushed Blush. I just love this color. But the beige lip liner, you see how much pink I have around my face. And as you get older, your color naturally has less, your face naturally has less color. So you may want to add a little pink instead, but not like hot pink. So I'm going to use a color called mauve pink on my lips. So let me just quickly, I'm going to make an X here. And then draw down, always making soft lines. And I don't want that. I want this part to be curved and not pointy. Okay, I'm going to fill in, come down, down, across. There. So instead of the beige liner, I'm choosing to use mauve nude. Then when I put a nude on my lip, it still gives me just a tad bit of a little bit of pink in there that kind of matches my skin tone a little bit better. All right, and then I'm going to go ahead and go up and do the blush. This look, which is beautiful, it's called Cinnamon Glow, and it has Shy Blush, which I think is so pretty. And as you get older, you want your blush gets a little higher, but you don't want your blush up here. This is where your cheekbone is. So you want to find where the flat part of your cheekbone is, and you want to start there and kind of tap forward to where your cheekbone starts to curve. Okay, and that can change. That's why it's important not to always use the same application techniques that you've used your whole life, because your face shape changes as you get older. So I've just tapped that on where I want it. Then I'm going to take a big fluffy brush and I'm just going to blend big so that it looks like I'm blushing, which it definitely does because my rosacea just popped out right there a little bit, but it gives me more color in my cheeks. All right, now let's talk about the eyes. As you get older, a lot of times your eyelid, if you don't have hooded eyes, which is where you don't see the lid itself when you look straight, you don't see the lid. If you don't have that originally, then you will get it or something very close. So I'm going to show you how to handle that. So one of the things, the colors here, there's a light white, and then there's a very light brown, which is a matte color, which is super nice color that I highly recommend that you transition colors in with on your lids into this area. So instead of, like, for example, on this look, it calls to put, they say to put the hazelnut on your lid and then put the darker Cinnabar in your crease, which would put it up in here. which if you just go straight and put Cinnabar on really light ivory beige skin, it's going to be too much. Dark beige and brown and bronze, it'll be beautiful. So you would not need to do the hazelnut there. But I like to take a big fluffy brush, which is our blending brush, put a little shadow on there. And I'm just going to start by putting the color when I am looking straight ahead. I'm going to put the color right in here because that hood is highlighted. You see the difference? The hood sticks out, and that's the part we want to go back so that we draw the eye into our eye. Okay, so then I'm just going to put that there, and then I'm going to take a little bit of the light color, biscotti, and the look recommends to put it in the corner, and we're going to pretty much do that. But we're going to do it about a third from all over the lid, like a third of the way. I'm going to put it on the other side as well, but I wanted to show you. How to go about doing that. I want to show you on this side, I'm going to show you if I had done Cinnabar exactly like they said in this look, this is what I would have. And you see how much softer this color looks than this color. I know this looks crazy, but that's how I can best teach you how to do this. All right. All right. So I'm just getting everything all blended and nice. Okay. Then we're going to go in with the Cinnabar. Again, I like to use a fluffy brush so everything is very soft, and I avoid really putting shadow, or a lot of it anyway at all, in areas where I have texture. Okay. Better known as crepiness. All right, you see the difference there. And if I had just put Cinnabar all over here and then gone in and put the espresso, like the look recommends, on the outer corner, up into the crease. I mean, I'm not saying it'll look bad. I'm just saying that one side is going to look a little bit more, it's going to be softer and more youthful. And if you wanted to add a little depth with that espresso, you definitely can, right out on the outside corner and up into that little crease. Okay, then go back with everything and blend. Blending is your friend. Blend, 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 blend. Because the more you blend, you don't want to see where things stop and start. And that because harsh lines on your face draw attention. And when you're younger, you have more angular shapes. As you get older, you're more curved shapes. So when you have a big difference between a light and a dark, it makes a line, and that line creates dimension, and it makes it look older. It makes you look older. All right. So let me show you what they have done, what they've suggested here for our liner. And I like this idea a lot. And we're gonna use a dark shadow, or any shadow that you want. Espresso, I think, is a soft, dark one. And some finishing spray that we have that it's absolutely wonderful. It makes things water resistant. And so I'm going to spray that on our brow brush, which has at this end has a very angular, thin line and brush. very sharp. And I'm gonna just put that right in. And this is, and I'm gonna just kind of look straight in the, I'm gonna try to do this on camera without looking. And I'm gonna go right in between the root of my lashes. I hope y'all can see that with that shadow. Now, I'm not putting it on the waterline. I don't want that. But when I do that, you can see, and I'm going to put just a little bit on top, a very, very close to the root of the lashes. So this takes away any kind of, you know, if you have an issue getting eyeliner on, by doing your eyeliner like this, you don't have to draw a straight line and all that. You just kind of get it in between the root of your lashes with the shadow, and then you just go in and smudge it. So your line doesn't have to be perfect, but you want it to be as close to the root as you can get it. Okay. Now, one last tip that I like for the eyes is to use two different types of mascara. I love this particular one. It is our Lash Intensity, and it is intense. And I like lots of lashes because that is very trending. Here, you're going to see this brush has one side of it is short and the other side is long. So I'm going to start with the short side right next to the root of my lashes. And I'm just going to really focus on them, and I'm wiggling sideways. And then out. Okay. This particular mascara, it really builds, and I'm going to take the longer bristles and I'm going to go out now with them. Okay. But this particular lash, it's a lash builder, and I think this is more of a top lash mascara than and it's not really great to use on the bottom. So then I will take our Great Heights mascara, which gives you a completely different angle to work your lashes from, because as you can see, it is curved. So I'm going to start with the curved side, again, getting down at the root of those lashes. I'm just going to do this really quick so you get the idea. And then I'm going to go to the curved and follow it there, all the way out to the end. It's hard to tell what I've done, but and then I either don't do anything at all on my bottom lashes, as you can see. That way I don't draw a lot of attention underneath my eye. But if I want to put anything down there, then I'm going to use my brush, my smudge brush, and I'm going to take a little bit of this, the color. Actually, I'm going to take a little hazelnut, that lighter color, and I'm going to put it along the bottom. And that way you can tell. Now the look, actually the makeup look calls to put espresso underneath the bottom, and you can definitely do that, but I recommend building it again, because you can see the difference in the two sides, because the color just that's just so stark, and I really just couldn't get this blended well enough because I didn't have enough products there. But as you can see, just the hazelnut in and of itself gives you really a softer look on your face, and that's, I think, more youthful looking. But I love this look. Be sure to ask your Mary Kay beauty consultant about trying one of our new makeup looks for fall of 2025. Thanks.